And joining us now to weigh in on the midterm races, now just 12 days away, let's bring in former Georgia Congressman Doug Collins. Doug, great to have you with us as always.
It's good to be with you.
All right, so we're going to dive into Georgia because I know that is where you are. But first, let's take a look at a couple of these polls coming out. We were discussing Kari Lake. Our very own Mike Carter is on the trail with her in Arizona. Here we go. Kari Lake leading Katie Hobbs, 54-43. Also in the New York State governor's race, Lee Zeldin not leading Kathy Hochul, still a bit of a gap there. And then moving on to the Pennsylvania governor race, we've got Doug Mastriano trailing Josh Shapiro, and finally Marco Rubio versus Val Demings in Florida. Rubio with a decent lead there. So we're seeing the numbers still not indicating if there is going to be a red wave. Do you think the next 12 days are going to change, maybe make it obvious that there might be a red wave or even more?
I think you're going to see a lot of that coming out in the next 12 days. The polls are tightening, and you even see the Beltway folks who are always going to side toward the Democrats are admitting that they're moving Democratic races from lean Democrat to toss-ups, and even in some cases lean Republican. Look, Kari Lake's a rock star. I mean, she is, and she's running against, frankly, one of the most cowardly election officials that I've ever seen run for office, who won't even stand on a stage and debate Kari Lake. If I was a Democrat in Arizona, I would be furious that this is what I have to, is at the top at the ticket for the governor's race. In Lee Zeldin's case, look for a surprise. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I think, all of a sudden New York is going to change. But Lee Zeldin's a candidate who can win. Lee Zeldin is a common sense fighter who is a personal friend of mine. I've known him. I've watched him. And Kathy Hochul is just a problem. She is a disgrace. I mean, when you think that, when she makes a comment about crime, which, New York City and across is having such problems, but she said, why do you make everything about crime? It's like, because people want to feel safe. There's two things people in this election want to do. They want economic safety and they want financial safety, and they want personal safety. When you look at those two, these Democrats are failing that. So that's why I see these races moving toward the Republican column.
And news out of Georgia, Texas Senator Ted Cruz will be joining Republican candidate Herschel Walker on the campaign trail. Now, this in spite of another allegation, a new one, that Walker pressured a woman into having an abortion. Do you think this abortion issue is kind of a non-issue at this point for Herschel Walker? Many reports are saying that's true.
It seems to have become that way, yes. I mean, if this would have been an issue that I think was going to move the polls in a significant way, you would have seen it, 10 days ago. You've not seen that. In fact, if anything, you've seen Walker move ahead. Warnock's campaign is the one that is in crisis here. Warnock's campaign is the one that is an incumbent senator with millions upon millions of dollars and can't anywhere get close to 50%. There is a slight chance that this goes to a runoff, but I'm looking more and more like now that Walker may have the ability to take this in on November 8th. So we'll see. It's going to be close. Unlike our governor's race down here, Brian Kemp's going to win that one going away. Stacey Abrams is going to make even more money, be the intergalactic president or whatever. She's not going to be governor of Georgia.
All right, Doug, before we let you go, I want to get your thoughts on this one. In Pennsylvania, many Democrats saying that John Fetterman never should have debated his opponent, Dr. Oz. Many Republicans calling out the Democratic Party for being dishonest with voters. Here's an op-ed from the New York Post today. Democrats are so cynical that they'd elect anyone in any medical condition so long as it gives them the majority. And they'll play three-card Monte with democracy to hide the truth from voters. Do you think this Fetterman debate debacle, as many are describing it as, could actually hurt Democrats as a whole?
I hope so. I really do. That was the saddest thing I've seen in a long time. And look, look, some people said if you attack Fetterman, you're attacking those with disabilities. That's not true. I'm a father of a disabled child. I have many folks that I've worked with the disabled community. The problem is he had a condition. It's a stroke. They hid from the public how bad this stroke was for many months. And he needs to get help, get better, be with his family. Yeah. I want him to get better. I don't want him in the United States Senate. And the Democrats have just shown their hand here. And whoever put them out, even with his family and others, I mean, your heart had to hurt to watch somebody go through that. And especially when they're actually going in and voting here for Senate. Another concerning point, though, is almost 50% of the vote in Pennsylvania is already in the books before that debate.
Absolutely.
That's a concern.
Yeah, I think people have already decided who they're going to vote for. So in Pennsylvania, the jury may not be out. But for Democrats, it could signal something else in the future. Doug Collins, thanks so much for being with us.
Always good to be with you, Katrina.
Thanks.
No crooked establishment.
None of that twisting the truth.
No talking down to me.
Don't tell me how to think.
Don't tell me how to think.
Don't tell me how to think.
I trust Newsmax.
Newsmax.
They don't tell me how to think.
They let
me decide.
Newsmax.
real news
For real people.